Today we're going to talk about one of the most common mistakes people make when they're learning hypnosis. Maybe you haven't thought about this one, maybe you have, but it's easy to avoid and we'll show you how in this video. I'm Keith. Let's jump right in. So in order to understand how this works, it's important to understand three things. The first one is that hypnosis is a great learning state. The second is when someone tells a story or about an experience, we internalize it. We understand it through creating our own internal experience or through a memory that's similar to what they're talking about. And so we experience similar states to what the person is talking about. And the third is that self-talk is a form of hypnotic suggestion, especially in certain mental states. So here's how the scenario goes, and here's how it is wrong. An instructor might start talking about hypnosis and trance. Internally, you go to some experience in your mind that is similar to what they're talking about. For instance, the instructor could be talking about, well, hypnosis is like, if you're absorbed in a good book. And you might think of a time when you were absorbed in a good book, and you get absorbed in that memory. The instructor might say, well, there's highway hypnosis where you're driving down the freeway and 4 or 5 exits go by and you think and you don't remember the last few exits and you think, wow, what happened? And then you relive an experience that's similar to that. Well, what happens is that when you talk about trance a lot, you tend to experience trance. So a class is going on, the instructor's going blah, 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 and you're drifted away. And then you come back to conscious awareness. And here's where the third part comes in. And you think, oh, I don't remember what that person said for the last 20 minutes. I must not be good at this. I must not be learning. There's the mistake in the self-suggestion. The truth is, hypnosis is a great learning state. There's a recent study that shows that information that was presented to us when we weren't paying attention is still available to us later. It's not about conscious attention. Now, most of us have been conditioned from school times that we need to pay attention, which means our eyes need to be forward and locked in. We need to not be doodling. We need to not be daydreaming. And in fact, many teachers will interrupt students and say, hey, what are you doing? Are you even paying attention? Or they will embarrass students by calling them out that they weren't paying attention. This is the wrong approach. Instead, internally, here's what I suggest. You find yourself drifting off and then drifting back to conscious awareness. Be curious about what it is that you learned while you were quote unquote away, because you weren't away. Only your conscious mind was away. The part of your mind that really learns was there. Because the truth is, when we learn something really well, it goes into unconsciousness. When you type, you don't think about each letter that you type if you're a good typist, right? When you talk, you don't typically think of every word that you're going to say ahead of time. You just get the idea in your mind and you let your mouth do the talking for you. This is because it's an unconscious, well-learned pattern. So the object is to get the information into the unconscious anyway. So when you drift away in a hypnosis class or when you're studying hypnosis or reading a book, be curious. Think, wow, I wonder what I learned while I was in that open-minded state. So that avoids the mistake. That will increase your learning speed with hypnosis. That will increase your learning depth with hypnosis. And you can continue to study and the conscious understanding will come along. In fact, when I'm teaching classes, I will often deliberately induce a hypnotic, open-minded state during certain parts of the class. Certain types of learning are more suited for unconscious learning. Certain types of learning are more suited for conscious learning. So if you've got a good instructor or a good program, just let it go and give yourself great suggestions that you're learning wonderfully. If you found this useful, hit like or subscribe. I'm Keith Livingston. This is Hypnosis 101. We will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.